So class 8. Now we were studying the chapter. We were reading the chapter about HPS Ahluwalia and what he has done. He has scaled Mount Everest. Okay. And we have read about his experiences, that why climbing the mountain is important for him. So what he said, why climbing was important? Why he said that climbing was important? It is because of the reason he said that he could not live without mountains. Okay. Mountains are a source of fascination forever. Okay, for him. He was always thinking of mountains when he was a young child. Moreover, he has also said that he was always attracted towards their mightiest nature. Okay, and he always feel to know what is there and why people climb mountains, because it is there. Okay, and then afterwards he has also shared about his experience, that what kind of feeling one has when he is climbing a mountain. That while a person is climbing a mountain, what kind of feeling he has? He feels that very good. Yes. Okay. So sometimes he feel, yes, Saksham, silence. So sometimes he is feeling that he has broken down. Sometimes he is also cursing himself that why he has undertaken this job. Okay, but ultimately it is like that when one achieves that summit, what kind of feeling one is filled with? Spiritual feeling. Okay, then he has also explained what are the different signs of respect, of reverence someone has left. So he has mentioned that Angdorji has left, what he has left? A relic of, yes, see the chapter, Buddha. A relic of Buddha. He has left a small picture of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and then a picture of Goddess Durga. So what are these means? Why they were leaving those kind of pictures there? Actually, it was a means of paying an obeisance. Paying an obeisance. Obeisance means to show your submission to the Almighty. Okay, to show your subordination to the great power and your reverence and your respect to that great power. Right? So afterwards, we are proceeding towards the last paragraph of this chapter. So what he said from the previous page, I am relating the line. Page number is 79. Okay, I am relating it. It cannot be climbed by anyone else. You yourself have to do it. The physical act of climbing to the summit of a mountain is means it is comparable to that of the act of climbing the mountain within. So what he is talking about, he is not talking about the summit of the mountain, but what he is talking about now, he is talking about the mountain or the summit within. What he says that nobody else will climb it. It is only you who has to climb that mountain. And while climbing that mountain, you have to overcome a new kind of summit that is being developed in you. You yourself has to overcome it. The effects of both the climbs are the same. And similarly, the effects means when you make this kind of climb, the effects are of course the same. If you get a feeling of satisfaction there, you will also get a feeling of satisfaction. If you feel spiritual attainment, you will also feel spiritual attainment here. So this is of course a great reason of satisfaction, of one's satisfaction that one's achieved after climbing or after achieving the summit of a mountain, and that of the summit within oneself, right? So whether the mountain you climb is physical or emotional and spiritual, the climb will certainly change you. Yes, whether whatever the kind of, you can say, mountain you are climbing, this type of climbing will definitely change you. It will definitely change many things inside you. It will bring a lot of changes inside you. Whether it will be emotional, you have overcome any kind of emotion of yourself, whether it is spiritual, ultimately it will bring different kind of changings inside your thoughts and thinking. Okay, then it teaches you much about the world and about yourself. So many things. Sometimes what is inside us, sometimes we have the quality, but sometimes we also don't know that I have that quality. Guntas, what happened? So sometimes we have the quality, but we are not sometimes even know that yes, I have that quality. If you get an able recognizer who is recognizing your quality, then you will come to know, yes, I have this. Sometimes a teacher is pushing you, yes, you can do it, and you did it very well. Then you come to know, oh yes, I can. Okay, ऐसे होता है ना, right? This happens. Okay, so what it means that it teaches you many things about yourself also. You come to know a lot about yourself and about the world also. Of course, this is but obvious that when you are experiencing something, you will definitely got to know about many things around yourself. Right? So I venture to think that my experience as an Everester has provided me with the inspiration to face life's ordeals. Ordeals means difficult tasks. Resolutely. Resolutely means with firm determination. So what he has said, that when I have started this journey as an Everester, what he has said, that I have come to know that this experience has provided me with inspiration. It has provided me an inspiration to face many difficult tasks in my life. Okay, but how one can achieve these difficult tasks? What he has learned, that one can achieve these difficult tasks with firm determination. If he is determined, if one is determined, only then a person will be able to overcome these difficult tasks. And this is what he has achieved. So the conquest means the victory over the mountain of the internal summit is equally worthwhile. So when you overcome the summit within, when some obstacle you overcome within yourself, you will definitely feel enriched. You will definitely feel exhilarated. You will definitely be filled with jubilation, happiness. So the internal summits are perhaps higher than Everest. Outer summits are there, but it is really very difficult to scale the summits within yourself. The summits which are there inside your mind, inside your heart. To scale those summits is also very difficult. Clear now? That's fine now? Okay, fine. So, great. How you felt this chapter? Very deep chapter, very enjoyable chapter. You learned a lot from this chapter. Okay, great. Okay, so fine. Now coming up to the question answers of this chapter. Right? So coming up to the question answers, see please. First of all, comprehension check. This you are supposed to do here in the book only. In the book only. Earlier we don't have any questions in between. Okay, right. Yes. So first one is, standing on Everest, the writer was. Why he was jubilant? Because he has achieved the summit. But why he is sad? He has. Yes, he came to know the reality of his smallness in the entire universe. Okay, fine, right. So the next one is, the emotion that gripped him was one of what? Humility and sense of smallness. So this kind of emotion filled him. Next afterwards, the summit of the mind refers to? Very good answer by you all. That a fuller knowledge of yourself. Okay. First and fourth, great intellectual achievements, yes, and fourth, living in the world of thought and imagination. First, third, overcoming personal ambition for common welfare, right? Very good. So it means you have understood the chapter. First, third, fourth. Fifth. Next, coming up to the question answer, see. First question is, what are the three qualities that played a major role in the author's climb? And his willpower. So what are the three qualities? So you can write down one general line about it. Okay. This chapter describes the journey of Major HPS Ahluwalia to climb Mount Everest. Okay. What it describes? It describes the journey of Major HPS Ahluwalia to climb Mount Everest. And what are the qualities? These were endurance, persistence, and willpower. Persistence, endurance, and willpower are the different qualities which help or which played a major role in the author's climb. Yes? This chapter is about, or this chapter describes the journey of HPS Ahluwalia to climb Mount Everest. Okay. But now see, let me tell you one thing. Now you have grown up. These kind of answers, the three qualities are. It's a very, you can say, means like when you are a beginner one. Now you have learned, you have come to grade 8. You can mold the language. You can make it more impressive, right? This won't be calculated as wrong, but it will be of very simple nature. Okay, try to write in a better manner. Okay, if you write in a better manner, you will learn many things. And this is our ultimate motive, to learn a language. Next is, why is adventure, which is risky, also pleasurable? Adventure. Yes, last point. The question is, why is adventure which is risky also pleasurable? Means like when we undertake any kind of adventurous task. Man's nature, okay, to overcome obstacles. Yes, Kritika. It means fulfillment of inner desire. Ultimately, this is the meaning why we undertake adventurous tasks. We know that there are many risks. So you know many sports, okay, like jumping from greater heights. Okay, you must have seen many videos. People used to wear belts around it and they undertake that job. They know it is risky and they know it is difficult. But why they are taking this job? Why they are going? One is excitement. They are urged to know more, how I can feel. Some of the people are doing it to overcome the summit inside. Suppose if one is afraid of height, maybe he's trying to overcome that fear. It means gratification of one's senses, right? Okay, so let us write down that why is adventure, which is risky, also pleasurable. Adventurous tasks, although they are risky, but are of course pleasurable, right? That what it is there, that adventurous tasks which are also risky, they are also pleasurable. Guntas, pay attention and note down side by side. Okay, they are also pleasurable because it helps to fulfill the man's inner desire to overcome obstacles. It helps a man to overcome his inner desires, or it helps a man to know or to overcome the obstacles of inner desires, or it is also a source of gratification of his inner senses. Okay, it is of course a gratification. What is gratification? Means fulfillment. Gratification of one's own desires. Okay, or gratification of one's desires, and it's of course, or it can also be a source of overcoming the summit within, right? It can also be a source of summit which is inside us. It can also be a source of overcoming summit within, right? Within, of overcoming summit within. That's clear? Gratification of one's feelings or senses. Yes. You want to say something, last boy? Okay, fine. So now this answer is clear? Okay. Who will speak this answer again? Who will speak this answer again? Okay, Kritika, in a loud manner, please.
Adventures are also pleasurable because it helps the man his inner desires of overcoming obstacles, and it is also a gratification of one's desires, and can also be a source of climbing the summit.
Very good. Very good. Next question is, what was it about Mount Everest that the author found irresistible? What was that? Which he found irresistible? Yes. Mystical appearance. Yes, very good. Okay, so the Mount Everest, the author found irresistible towards Mount Everest because of its mightiest and mystical nature. Okay, because of, wait a minute, let me tell you. Speak again. Yes, of course it is a mystical experience, and because of its aloofness, mightiest and ruggedness, and the various difficulties a person encounter on its way is always making him fascinated towards this mountain. What it is doing, that it is always fascinating him towards this mountain. Last, Guntas, you are not noting anything. Come here now. Front. Alone, separated, lonely. Stand up from there. This is of which subject? On Monday, I'm going to collect the notebooks. Right? Sit over there. Right? Clear this answer? Yes. The Mount Everest. Okay, speak. Now listen.
The author describes Mount Everest as irresistible because of its mightiest and mystical appearance, also because of its appearance, height, ruggedness, and the difficulties encountered on the way.
And if you have written mightiest in the starting, then no need to write it here again. Okay. So next, afterwards, we are having the next question. The question is, one does not do it, means climb a peak for fame alone. What can one do it really for? Yes, Kritika.
The author has always been drawn to the mountains. As mountains are the best at its
down. No, this is not the answer. Let me explain. That why does a man climbs a mountain? Okay. A man climbs a mountain not for fame only, but it is a sense of fulfillment. Okay. You can see it on page. Okay. So one can climb a mountain because of a sense of fulfillment. Okay. It is not only the satisfaction, okay, that one achieves, but actually man's strong desire. But what actually it is? Man's strong desire to know the surroundings. Man's strong desire to know its surroundings. Moreover, it's a man's great love or eternal love for nature. And this kind of experience fills a man with emotional and spiritual fulfillment. It helps a man to get filled with emotional and spiritual satisfaction. Now you got? Okay, so why a man climbs a mountain? It's not only for fame, but actually it gives a sense of fulfillment. What kind of fulfillment? That it was man's strong desire to know about its surroundings, and moreover his eternal love for adventure, and the person feels not only physically fulfilled or satisfaction, but emotionally as well as spiritually too. Next, afterwards, the next question. What were the symbols of reverence left by members of the team? This I have repeated in the starting. Okay, different climbers left different symbols of reverence. As HPS Ahluwalia left a picture of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Rawat left picture of Goddess Durga, Fu Dorji left a relic of Buddha, and Edmund Hillary buried a cross under a cairn. Okay, these all were symbols of respect towards the great path, or it's a symbol of it means, beta, it means that they have paid their respect, or these are the symbols of reverence towards the great God. Okay, so the last question is, what according to the writer did his experience as an Everester teach him? So what he has learned? He has learned about his own smallness in this universe. Which one? Fifth. Okay, see the fifth one. He becomes conscious in a special manner of his own smallness in this large universe. This awareness defines an emotion mentioned in the first paragraph. Which is this emotion? Humility. He was filled with humility, reverence, as well as respect to the beauty of nature. Okay, he was feeling fascinated, jubilant to see the greatness and no, explain in simple manner. Right? No need to write complicated lines, and don't copy directly the lines. We have to find out the meanings of these and explain. Right? So clear this answer? Okay, fine. Last one. What according to the writer did the experience as an Everester teaching? So what he has learned? That yes, this has explained. So what he has learned? He first of all, he has learned about his smallness in the universe. Next, afterwards, he has also come to know about another summit, which is inside us. Okay, he has also come to know about another summit, which is inside us. And it is not so easy to overcome this kind of summit, right? And one has to overcome this kind of summit. And after climbing this summit, what kind of feeling one has? It's one will feel emotionally as well as spiritually satisfied. Okay, and its only determination and one's resolution that led to achieve that summit. It means that he has come to know about external world as well as the strong feelings which are present inside one person. Very good. It is, of course, a worthwhile experience, right? Okay. So I hope that now all the answers are clear. So you will complete these. You will write it in your notebooks. Right? That's fine. Understood now? And on Monday, I'm going to check the notebooks of you all. And there will be, of course, offline checking.